All right, so right here, I'm using a 1.5, and I'm debulking all around the head up to the parietal ridge. Then I'm taking my number 2 and going with the grain to knock down the bulk off the top of the head, and also study his hair the way it's growing. So right here, I'm about to spray the top of the hair with some water and comb it forward, just so I can get it to lay down better, creating that wave effect. Alright, so right here, I'm just adding a little mousse, just to help persuade the hair to lay down flat. Blow drying it. Now I took my close zero and I'm making my first guideline. So right here, I'm taking my close zero up to the occipital bone, because it's a mid fade. And then I go right underneath with the trimmers, fading into the close zero. Right here, I'm taking my number 1. I'm going up about 1 inch all the way around to set my next guideline. Then I take my open zero, open about halfway, and go halfway into that number 1. After I get that guideline set evenly, I close it back up and I fade that bottom line out from my close zero to the open zero. Now I'm gonna take my half guard and fade into the 1. So I'm fading my open zero into the 1 with a half guard, using my corners and switching angles and directions of my clippers to fade out the line the best I can. So right here, I got a 1.5 on there, and I'm just cleaning up around the parietal ridge and fading into the top of the hair. So it's going to be easier now that I got this number 1 on to fade out that last guideline. So my 1 is going to be fading into my 1.5, and I'm going to be playing with the lever, opening it and closing it, and also switching angles, using my corner, switching directions, going with the grain and against the grain in certain areas to fade it out the best I can.
I got some issues that I got to get through just to get with you. Oh Lord, I wish you would wait for me. Would you wait for me? Wait for me. Would you wait for me? I know in my heart that I am a king, but life's been so hard, Lord, I doubt my own heart. I'm trying so hard, Lord, to not fall apart. I'm trying so hard, Lord, to not fall apart. Wait for me. Would you wait for me? Wait for me. Would you wait for me? Pray for me. Would you pray for me? Pray for me. Would you pray for me?
So right there, I was taking my number 1 and going with the grain on top, cleaning up any hairs that were sticking up and not laying down the way they were supposed to be laying down. And now I'm just going to go back over the top with a little bit of hairspray in this glove, flattening out all of his curls with a blow dryer so they can create that wave effect on top of his head. Also, the hairspray that I put on the top of the head and flattened out his hair with, it's going to help me when I go to do this line up here, holding all the hair in place so I can get a better cut. With this client, he got a colic on the right side of his head, so I started at the colic and I went through his whole lineup, matching everything to that colic. Otherwise, I would usually start in the middle and work my way left and right, having everything meet in the center. Right here, I'm starting to taper in the fronts, and this will bring my fade together and finish it off. Then I'll just go around and touch up anything that needs to be touched up. But this will be the last of my steps that I use. So once I complete all my steps, I'll go around and just double check my work and make sure everything looks the way I want it to look. So again, right here, I'm going through the top of his hair, just trying to get everything cleaned up and laid down to create the cleanest look I can create.
I got some issues that I got to get through just to get with you. Oh Lord, I wish you would wait for me. Would you wait for me? Wait for me. Would you wait for me? I know in my heart that I
Asking him if he likes it, asking him if he wants me to change anything or do anything different. Once he signs off on a haircut, hey, we're good to go. It's a revival.